You know, it's crazy to think how much money, greed, and addiction have ruined the Pokemon hobby. This is Sokratic Rips, and let's do this. You know, recently I went to a Target and I waited probably like 30 minutes in line, because I knew they were going to be restocking soon. And there was not a lot of people there, I was like, hell yeah, I was pretty geeked. But just listening to the people talk about making money, hoping to get an SPC, and being there from like 9 in the morning, and the restock was happening at like around 4. And it just got me really thinking about the level of greed, the chance to make money, and just the pure addiction in a hobby has just been really eroding at the foundation of what Pokemon really is. And so I did end up getting a ETB because apparently nobody else wanted Pitch Black. They were just there in hopes to get an SPC, and it happened that day. The restocking guy was not going to do a full restock because he had he was prepping the new Pokemon area, because apparently he has to do it, which is kind of lame. But yeah, the box looks pretty dope in my opinion. I do like it, which I'll have an opinion on a certain card later on. But yeah, going back to what I was talking about, just thinking about just the hobby, and like, since I was in it when I was younger, and dabbled back and forth, kind of ran out of, didn't have money when I was in college, kind of had to leave until I was better. Nice promo card. But just the sheer amount of greed that we are seeing in this hobby, it's unprecedented. Just how much people are willing to screw everybody out of hoard products, and I'll so let me know down in the comments, like, do you feel the same way that people have been, just kind of ruining the hobby with scalping, hoarding products? So let me know, and let me know what's your experience with that. Do people do that in your area? Which I'm assuming they probably do. But yeah, man, it just really bugged me just seeing and hearing people talk about flipping ETBs of Ascended Heroes and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, come on, dude. Because when I think about the Pokemon hobby, I do truly think it's about a place of community and people getting together, having fun. But it feels like that's kind of going away. There we go. I will definitely take this card. I don't know where my sleeves are. No. I will put it in the sleeve later. I went to a rip party. There might be a little video about it later on. We opened up a bunch of packs. Probably like close to 500 packs. So I was like, sheesh. Yeah, but like there was this one guy there, just, man, like, just he can't even stand in a line like long. He'll just keep walking away, coming back. And he flips all his products like he does. I don't think he even rips. And so, I guess for me, I just think, man, how is this hobby, where is it going to be in the next few years? Getting smoked there. Is it going to be something that's going to be viable? Because, like, I look at the people, they don't, I will say this straight out. Yeah, we have 3 mediocre sets that are not that bad, in my opinion. And you could just clearly tell who's in it for the love of Pokemon and who is not. Like for me, like, I love the art of the cards, And don't get me wrong, I do like making, the money, but I don't always think the top chase card is actually the best card. That's just me. And so even my friends, they joke around. They're like, you just go for cards you like or cute cards. I'm like, yes, I do. There we go. Crushing Hammer, baby. We got 2 hits already. Yeah, but I do think about, like, how do we stop, this scalping, epidemic in Pokemon right now. And one of the ways is people need to stop buying off of scalpers and stuff like that. And I know some people, they're like, why, I have no other way. That's your addiction talking. Like, bro, just everybody take a step back, give it a few weeks, and of nobody buying stuff, you're going to see how fast prices are going low. It's basic economics. Because a lot of these people, they don't have the money to actually hold on to products as long. And some people do, right? But realistically, like, that's one way to do it. But also, you think about like Targets and Walmarts, like they gotta step it up too. They gotta step it up because they know, like, my Target knows who are the scalpers. They know it. They go to the card. So some of the guys go to the car shows and they're like, dude, it's ridiculous. And so one is like, I'll be honest with you, like, I think if the top 10 are they're always in the front, they should be told, like, no, you don't get these products. We have to have more of an equitable way of delivering products. But again, some people say, no, well, that's messed up. It should be first come, first serve. And I was like, well, so I get punished because I have a full-time job, or that kid gets punished because they go to school. So, I don't know. I mean, it's always a slippery slope. But the hobby ain't going to change until we force it to change. And that's just a harsh reality. If we do not force the hobby to change and adapt, then why are we crying and complaining that the scalpers are everywhere? If you're buying stuff from scalpers on Facebook Marketplace, you're part of the fucking problem. Period. And here we go. I'll take it. I actually do not have this card yet. So we got 3 hits. And so we have to hold ourselves accountable. Stores have to hold themselves accountable. And it's like, dude, like I'll say this straight out. You can skip at most Targets and Target won't do shit about it. I've seen it happen. And then what I hear from security is, oh, we can't police the line. Like, sure the fuck you can. Kick them the fuck out. Don't sell them product. It's not that hard. But some people are just too afraid to do things. And so things have to change. And I'll give credit. There is a Target in my area. There's a couple people there. There's especially this Asian chick. And I know she collects. I've seen her, clock out and actually buy some stuff. She was at the back of the line, so she didn't get anything crazy. But she did it the right way. She clocked out and she waited in line for like 5 minutes. When the line started moving. But you go into that Target and you try to buy extra packs. Oh, and she sees you, she's on your ass. She's like, you went to the line. Or nope, you can't check out multiples. I'm not gonna lie to you. I try to check out 2 extra One Piece OP13. She was on my ass. And yeah, she took them. I thought I was gonna be like this, like, yeah, I got 4. Nope. But you know what? You know what I did? I apologized to her and I thanked her for doing her fucking job. Like, seriously, guys. Like, I can't be mad at her for doing her job and making sure more people get the product. Because the reality is, the greed in this hobby is at an all-time high. And if people don't stand up to it, nothing's going to change. Period. And so I'm happy, like, and I don't get mad. Even some of our vendors, like, our vendors need to step up to the plate too, right? And when they're handing out products, like, if you see there's a lot of people in line, yeah, probably not give 2 Ascended Hero ETBs to the front people. Probably not the best course of action. But this set is pretty dope. I'm glad because, the scalpers for the most part are leaving it on the shelves. And so I mess with it. I'm not going to hate on it. Hey, another hit for the road, right? So let's see what we got. I don't think I got great hits from here. Like, they're not the greatest. Nothing ain't going to move the bank. But I will be real, from like an art perspective, I mess with this Darkrai card. It's pretty dope. My boy looks psycho, like he's going to kill you. Looks awesome. I can even feel the texture of the eye. It's pretty dope. Not my favorite Pokemon, but I do mess with it. It looks pretty dope. Great shine. Crushing Hammer. It reminds me of my boy King DDD from Smash Brothers. That's my troll character. I will fuck you up with him. Because, bro, I love messing with people with him. He's dope. And my Rapidos. You know, this card looks cool, but is pretty basic to me. But I still mess with it. You know, I can see why it looks, you know, some people would enjoy it. But let me know down in the comments. Have you been able to actually get any Pitch Black products on, you know, are they on the shelves at your local Walmart, Target, wherever you get your packs from? And how big is the scalping problem in your area? And am I wrong to say that the Pokemon hobby right now is at an all-time low when it comes to morality? There's too much greed, you know, people with money, addiction, hoarding. So let me know down in the comments. With that said, you know, this is Sokratic Rips. And you better make sure to like and subscribe because you know I'll greatly appreciate it. Peace. I'll hit you with a crushing hammer. Nah, just kidding.